Hi, Emily. I'm Nikki Johnson. I live in the state of North Carolina, and you and I covered the same case that was adjudicated by the North Carolina Board with violations around professional boundaries relative to social media use and other ways in which this counselor had inappropriate contact with her client. I appreciated the article that you cited. I had trouble finding empirical research on social media use in particular. But after having read your article, I was led to an article that I believe was published a year before the one you cited, which substantiates some of the great points that you raised around how crossing those boundaries can weaken the therapeutic relationship and creates a power imbalance that also erodes the client-counselor relationship. In addition, this particular article discusses how the prolific nature of social media deserves clearer guidelines in this particular profession. And I believe that if we don't continue to iterate on those guidelines, we're likely to see more cases, not only in North Carolina, but across other states because of that lack of clarity. I thought a lot about counselor impairment in that particular case. I can see where acceptance of gifts are a clear violation of professional boundaries, but I also can appreciate how certain social media contact may at first been just impaired judgment on the part of that counselor. I always look towards the Bible when I'm thinking about ways that we can stay centered in professionalism and ethical standards. And it's interesting to me, Jesus is always grounded in truth, but he always has graceful delivery. And I'm called to Proverbs 15:22, which says, "Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed." What I found interesting is that this woman who received the disciplinary action, her coworkers warned her that she was crossing boundaries and she ignored them. And so I think one of the things we have available to us is a network of people with more expertise and experience than we have. And if we lean into that proverb, we can look to people with that experience and hopefully keep us centered on ways that we can provide the quality of care to the client, but also ensure that we are providing self-care so that that impairment is either lessened or mitigated altogether. Thank you.